Is your coach Jordan as well then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was picking up a, that's for you, by the way, sorry. I was picking up a wetsuit off of Jordan maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and you guys were going to, I think it was the weekend before your gravel race.
Oh, yeah. He was organizing like 2 races.
Yeah, I like it's funny now I'm kind of like connected a little bit into that world with you and Sarah and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how many people are how many people are connected.
Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's just like the community. Not only just triathlon, but like it's just growing over the last like couple of years. Like I met you in the pool. I met like so many other people that are just like, yeah, like I'm just either here for the summer and like doing it more. Like, I don't know, 4 years ago, it totally was not like that.
Yeah. So how long have you been here?
So I've been on and off in Banff 10 years. I moved first in 2015 and then spent like a year and a half, and then kind of went to go traveling overseas, went to like Southeast Asia for like 5 months, then came back, then did Australia for 2 months. Then I came back for a short period of time, but it was only like 3 months. And then I went back home, and then I did like Africa for a bit. Like I did Kilimanjaro, which was really sick. And then I came back about 4 years ago, and I've been back since.
You've been back ever since?
I went to Japan, but this is home.
So where's like home, like originally?
I was born in Colombia, moved to Canada when I was 5, right, but grew up just outside of Toronto.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, Markham.
Right, and then so how did you get into triathlons? Was it something you always did, or?
No, I grew up playing hockey and soccer competitively throughout my life. And then after college and that kind of finished, and then I was just like, okay, what's next? And then COVID kind of happened, and I was back home, and I was pretty much like started getting into like who David Goggins was, and, like, Joe Rogan, and I was like, okay, like really strong believer in like pushing beyond your limits. So I was like, okay, let's try and do a marathon. So I mean, it was COVID, so nothing was happening. So I was like, and I knew I was moving back out west in like April. So I don't know, I did like a 12-week program and just started training, and then got here. And then my best friend lives in Revelstoke, so she came down and she biked. So we did the marathon on the 1A, and she biked behind me the whole time. So that was really
so it wasn't like a race. You just did a marathon on your own.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I was like, I want to do it, and nothing was happening. And COVID.
Oh, COVID, sorry.
So I was like, oh, this is, and she was like, yeah, I'm down to do it. I was like, okay.
So where did you go from and to? How did the marathon work?
Pretty much the start of Banff all the way down like 21 kilometers down the 1A and then back.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it was hard. It was like the first time I'd ever done anything like 4 hours plus, right?
Did you have any like food or water dropped along the way? Or?
So I was wearing like a vest, and she had like a backpack with like certain things in it. So she was like kind of like my support behind me. Yeah, and then I finished that, and I was like, okay, like you're obviously on a high, and you're like, what's next? And like I had heard of Ironmans before, but I had never been like, I want to do a full one. Like that's just crazy. And then I kind of heard that the half was still happening in Calgary, so I was like, okay, like why not? And I was just like, I think I remember it was like 8 weeks before the race, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
Fucking hell, that's wild.
So I think I did 2 or 3 like sprint and Olympics before the actual event, but I had
8 weeks.
But yeah, I had 8 weeks. I like bought my bike. I was wondering. Oh yeah, I didn't do my first half. I didn't do on a TT bike. I think I did on a regular bike.
Yeah, it was the same.
And then I was like, oh, it's time to buy a TT bike, and I did. Well, I did it before, and then I bought the TT bike, and I was like, okay, I'm like really liking this, and like I had like an online coach at that time, but he was from the States, and I was kind of started swimming with Sarah, and I started kind of I met Amber and into like the triathlon world here, and I was like, okay, well, like I want a coach that's closer, kind of type of thing. Or like, I told Sarah, I remember her like the first few times that we met, I was like, I didn't get the chance to see my potential, I guess, through hockey, because that was like my main sport. And I was like, I'm going to see how far I can take triathlon. Yeah, so that's kind of just been my inspiration.
So when you were doing before you did the half, you had 8 weeks, but at that point you'd done a marathon, but had you been swimming and cycling? Nah.
No, I had never.
You did a half in 8 weeks, just going into it?
Pretty much, yeah. Like I remember the coach that I had online, he was like, he told me this after the race, he was like, but I was a little worried about you. He was like, I didn't tell you this during, but like swimming was so hard. I was like, obviously just picking up. I mean, knew how to swim. I'd taken, but back in the day, like when I was 7. So like learning how to properly swim, it takes a while. Like the technique and everything, like the breathing. So yeah, I don't know. I just started training really hard, and 8 weeks later.
How was the half?
It was really good. My parents came down, which was really nice, but it was, yeah, I think I got like 7 hours and 10 minutes, which is like fast forward 4 years, and now I'm like 2.5 hours, like minus that.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's just crazy. And then, yeah, and then I've done, I guess did the half, and then I was like, okay, I started, like, I'm liking this sport. Just started training, and then I found Jordan, and I think ever since I've been with him for like 3 years, done triathlon for like 4, and I've pretty much PB'd every single race. So, and like he's close by in Canmore, so I'm like, okay, if I need anything urgent, I can go see him, or like, and like I had heard that he was a pro and had won Ultraman a few years ago. So I was like, okay, this guy has trained with a pro. He knows what he's doing. I've heard amazing things about him. And he was also Sarah's coach. So I was like, okay, there's obviously good intel here. Yeah. And then it just kind of, and then I signed up for Penticton, full Ironman 2 years ago. And that was my first. And I remember having like 9 months of training for that. And then I was in Winnipeg for a wedding, and 2 days before the race, it got canceled because of the fires. So I was like, oh, this is so shitty. So I decided to just do it in Banff, like just around, like no time, just with friends, and seeing what I can do. So we did. Yeah, it was honestly really, really nice having everyone there. Like Amber, we did the swim in Johnson Lake. Amber swam with me. It was like the coldest swim I've ever done. It was crazy. It was like, I don't know how she did it, because I was like really amazed. I was thankful. She joined me on the swim. Then I took off to Canmore on the bike. Sarah met me on the Canmore, and she like waved to me, which was really nice. And then I went back up to the 1A to Lake Louise. Came back here and like around like the golf course and filled the 180. Yeah. And then on to the second marathon, which is also brutal. Yeah, it was fine. I had and then I had a buddy join me on, 2 friends joined me on the bike for half of it, which was really nice. And then the run I did by myself, but I had my boyfriend e-bike behind me, which was really, really nice. So he was like, I had like pretty much support throughout the whole thing, which was really, really nice.
It'd be cool if people had seen you in the day and they'd be like, I swear I just saw that girl cycling.
Well,
someone sees you go to Canmore, then to Lake Louise, and then you're running, they'd be like, where the fuck is this girl?
Well, it was really nice, because like Brandon, my boyfriend, was in the car ahead of me as well, and like people met up with me halfway during the bike and stuff. It was really nice, and like I'll never forget it. It was like the ending. I like ended on Banff Avenue, and like a few of my friends met me through like the last little bit of running, and there was like, I don't know, like 10 people with like champagne waiting for me at like the end. So it was honestly really, really nice, and just being like 8 months of hard work is finally done type. But I was like obviously thirsty for more, because I didn't get my full on chance. And then I believe we went to Japan Yeah, we went to Japan for like 8 months. So I didn't swim or I didn't bike. I was just mainly mainly running and snowboarding, which was fun. But I came back and I was like, okay, like I like snowboarding. It's fun, but it's not my passion. I was like kind of going crazy, not having like a gym, not having a pool, not having the bike. I think I'd done this before COVID as well. Do you know the 4x4 challenge?
Is it like the different mountains you train?
No, 4 miles every.
Oh, 4 hours for 48 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that before COVID, and then I did it again just to kind of like
How is
reset.
that?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Doesn't seem like it'd be that. I mean,
It's-
I've never done it, but it doesn't seem like it'd be.
Like the distance, it's 4 miles, so 6.4 kilometers. It's not bad. It's getting into the rotation of every 3 hours and a half you have to go run, right? So it's like you're barely sleeping. You're going to bed with like pretty much wet hair, waking up for like 2 hours, getting like very minimum sleep, and then doing that all over again for like 24 hours. So it's like I feel like I needed a push towards something, and like so I was like, okay, let's do that. So it wasn't too bad. The first time I did it, it kind of sucked, but also it was like during Japan's like a lot of snow, so running is so completely sucked.
Is it a specific time of the year, or you could just do it whenever and you just decided to do it that time?
I think David Goggins runs it.
Yeah, I know he does it.
Offline, like around March, I think, and that's when I did it. So it's still like kind of cold and snowy and shitty. And then I came back in April, and then we started training from April to August, because I had signed up for Penticton again. But I was like, oh my God, I only have like 6 months of training compared to last year. So that was kind of a worry. But all in all, did the training, felt really good. Come Penticton, they canceled the swim, so that was kind of shitty.
That's why your tattoos like was half.
Yeah,
right?
so I had like the full Ironman, but I had only filled in half. And then I did the bike and the run again, and it was amazing. Like the views were just incredible. It was like super hilly on the bike, but very beautiful with like the vineyards and everything like that. But that qualified me for Kona, which was really nice, and I didn't think that I was gonna do that at all.
Yeah, so you still qualified even though they didn't have the swim part?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Really nice. I actually also before that did the Calgary again, and I got third and qualified for Marbella this year.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing this year,
When's
which
that?
is really exciting. That's in Spain.
No, when?
Oh, November.
Right, okay, cool. Wow, in November. I guess it's just cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did the triathlon in Barcelona, but it was like October. But I'd be like, obviously they have a better idea, but I would have just assumed spring in November would be like.
Yeah, like I'm wondering how the weather is going to be. Like if it's.
I guess if they obviously know what they're doing, so I would assume it'll be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of assumed it would just be raining, but maybe it would just be colder.
So that was a very like. I finally kind of did the Ironman. Still not fully to my eyes, but I did it and I qualified for 2 world championships, so I was very happy.
Did you go to them?
No, so that's this year.
Okay, right, cool.
Yeah. So this year, Jordan was like, okay, let's do 11 months of full-on training. So I had never done that before, so that was a little intimidating. So we started in December, and then we are at what is it? August?
August, yeah. Just the beginning of August. Okay, so Marbella's the World Championships.
For 70.3.
Right, okay, cool, right. And then Kona would be the full. So you qualify for them both?
Yeah.
Damn. And I guess you had to choose between one or the other.
No, I'm doing them both.
Oh, you're doing them both? So, right, okay, so you do Marbella in November, and then when you doing Kona?
October. They're like 3.5 weeks.
Oh, so you did a full then a half?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. How does that work with training-wise? Because there's like, I assume like normally if I'm doing something like that, it's like there's a peak and then you'd come off.
I don't know Jordan's plan really. My main race is Kona. Yeah. Like that is what he's training me for. We'll see. Yeah, I don't really know. I guess it like Because, like, I mean, you only probably like a week to recover from the Ironman, and then back to a little bit of training, I guess.
I guess if you've probably like, Jordan will obviously know, but I would assume it's like maybe it's just like you're kind of in a maintenance period where like you do the race, recover, and then you probably wouldn't drop off that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you, like, mentally though, how do you go from, I mean, I don't know if you've done that before where you go from one thing straight into the other. Like, because usually if I do something, I'm like, sweet, I don't want to do nothing. But,
it was, I don't know, it was just like too really amazing. I was really nervous, aside from it being very expensive. I was very nervous of being like, am I going to be able to do this? Like, you know, it's a very hard year, like / work. Am I going to be able to take time off work, all that? But my grandma had not recently, but like maybe 2.5 years ago, passed away. And she was from Madrid, Spain. So then I heard when I qualified for the 70.3 that the World Championships was in Marbella. So I had accepted that offer first. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is just like meant to be. Like, I'm going to be going back to Spain and racing for her. So that was in my mind. And then Penticton happened, and then I qualified for Kona, which I didn't think that was going to happen. And Jordan's like, hop on this opportunity. Yeah, like Kona's like triathlon's dream, right? So I think mentally I'm just kind of like taking one event at a time, but it's, I mean, Jordan's probably not going to be happy, but I was telling Sarah this, I was like, you know, like I'm super excited and it's coming all to an end kind of soon, but I'm like already like, okay, like what do I do next year type of thing. And I know should be just focusing on like right now, but I think that's where like my mind's taking me. It's like, okay, this is almost over. Like I want next year to be a little bit more relaxed and do other things, but I'm like, I think as long as I have something on the go, I'm like, I finish one event and then I'm like, okay, like this is what's happening next year. I want to do a marathon. I want to do a big open water swim. I want to maybe do a trail run race or something like that. So, yeah.
Why do you think you're like that? Why do you think you go from like, I'm the same.
Yeah.
So I'm the same. I've got like, I feel like even though I've got something now, I'm already like, oh, okay, the next thing I could do is this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I don't understand why I can't just do one thing and be like content. Do you know why you have this constant?
No, like
thing?
I think I've always been like.
Are you restless?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
A little bit. Like I think I'm like one to maybe take over my dad a lot. Like he can't stay still. Like he's always just like on the go. Like it's very hard for me to like mellow out and relax and stuff. So I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because I think I definitely have that where I just as soon as I need something, I think I need something.
Yeah.
You know, in my life to, and maybe it's like a deeper thing with regards to not feeling like maybe my job's like a thing that it gives me that sense of like a kind of like path to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I think with stuff like that, I'm like, cool, I know. So I'm obviously doing the swim in a month. So like a year ago, I was like, cool, for the next year, this is my goal.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the goal finishes, I'm kind of like, I guess like I'll just fucking, I don't know, do something.
I think it's also like, I don't know, a side of like seeing what your body's capable of and being like, okay, like I've done a marathon, I've done an Ironman, what can I not do type of thing, or what more can I do?
Yeah, I was probably very similar to you where I again, like got into the David Goggins and Joe Rogan, like maybe like a decade or something ago now. It was kind of the same thing. Like David Goggins had that whole like 40% rule, like you're living at, like most people live at like 40%. Mm-hmm. And I remember, maybe it was just because I was younger and I was looking for something. I remember that struck me and being like, yeah, similar to you. Like I did at that point I'd done a marathon, but then like, I think I did a triathlon. I think I did a sprint and I was just like, holy shit, I just did like 3 things in the one day. Yeah. And then you keep doing them and then eventually you're like, you look back and you and me now like done Ironmans and you're like, fucking hell, if I could do that, like what else? Yeah.
What is the limit?
Do you have like something that you're like?
I don't know, like I've always like when I was little playing hockey, I wanted to go to the Olympics for Canada.
Yeah.
That was kind of like my dream. That didn't happen.
And
so,
hockey. Like playing hockey.
Yeah. So that like shifted. So like now maybe I'm still chasing like a different kind of dream. Like, I don't know. Obviously this is far-fetched, but like maybe going to the Olympics somehow, or like I've always thought of like doing something really big, and like I think I'm going to talk to Jordan in the next few years about it, of like whether that's, I know people run across Canada all the time, or like, I don't know, something big.
It's kind of hard to think of big stuff,
Yeah.
I think, because there's so many things that you just said have been done. Like running across Canada,
Yeah.
you're like, you know that someone's done it. And you obviously probably have that mentality where you're like, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, I guess I can't, I can fucking run across Canada. It's kind of hard to be like unique and come up with something like this big and new.
Like I've thought about like maybe since I'm Colombian, like going back to Colombia and like doing something around there.
Could you run from here to there to here? Is that too?
I think that'd be really, really long. Yeah, I don't know. I'm open to ideas. For sure. I want to like sit down with Jordan and say, I want to do something big, help me come up with, whether that's, I don't know, like I follow a bunch of girls right now and they're like chasing world records to be like the youngest woman to do a triathlon on every continent except for Antarctica type of thing. Or Connor, there's this guy, what's his name? Connor, I forgot his last name, but he was the first guy who did a triathlon on every continent, including Antarctica, like last year or 2 years ago. And it just like stuff like that just amazes me. And I'm just like, I think I have that in me, like I want to be able to do something bigger than what I think I'm capable of.
Yeah, because it's like I always find when you sign up for something, that there's a genuine chance you might fail. And when you then achieve it, it just takes on a new level of like it just feels so much better, I think. So obviously. So and I was wanting to chat to you about like how you go into races. So I'm pretty much like fucking 25 days exactly out from this thing, and I go through periods of like overconfidence to like complete terror. Like I fluctuate between the two. I would say I'm in the confident group most, but I have those moments.
Really?
Yeah, where I'm totally like, fucking hell, man, this is. But the whole point of me saying that is because I could completely fail at it. So therefore, when you do it and you achieve it, you're like, holy shit, that was like amazing.
Yeah.
As opposed to like marathons and all that stuff is amazing. But for me personally, I'm like, I know I could run a marathon. Yeah, I could run it significantly quicker because I didn't really run it that quick. But yeah, that kind of like fear of being like,
it's almost like you get off on that fear of like a little bit of being like, there's a chance that I'm going to not be able to do this. And that almost like thrives you even more to like, see if you can do it type of thing.
So it doesn't sound like you get nerves going into, or have you just done so many that it's just...
I've done about 7 halves and 2 unofficial fulls.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but like, I still get really nervous. Yeah. But I don't really get into like, I don't think I can do this type of thing.
Yeah. Because you've done it.
Exactly. Like if I were to be like, swimming the English Channel, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I can do that type of thing. Like next year I'm thinking about maybe like a 7K swim. I'm like, oh my God, can I do that? I mean, obviously
you definitely could
with the right amount of training. Yes. But yeah, like something like big, like the English Channel. I'm like, I don't think I could do that.
I think you definitely could. I mean, if you could do an Ironman, you can 100% do that.
Yeah.
Like I just think that anyone who doesn't have a physical or mental handicap that literally would stop them. Like if you're like an averagely fit person, not saying that's what you are, but like the average fit person, 100% if you train it, you could do it. Like no doubt in my mind. So when you get nervous, like what do you get nervous about then?
I think it's achieving certain goals of mine.
Well, I guess you're like going for faster times then.
Yeah, like for example, Kona, I want top 10. The best in the world are going to be racing at Kona. Am I going to be able to do top 10? I mean, I have no idea.
Are you like top 10 and you're like, you mean top 10 all females or top 10 like?
Top 10 in my age group.
Okay, right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much like as it works, I mean, eventually, hopefully, I don't know if I goes well. I would love to start seeing if I could go pro or along that lines, but then I'd have to start like winning my age groups. After winning age groups, then it goes into like actually winning or being top 10 in the whole field, which is, I mean, I don't think I'm close to being there, but yeah. So like nervous in terms of like that, or like nervous in terms of I hope my fueling goes right. What happens because I've had where my like marathon, I've just like in the toilet half the time. So like having everything kind of go the way, like the perfect day type of thing, the way you want it to. No flats. If I get a flat, like, I mean, I've never gotten a flat. So like knock on wood, like what would I do type. I mean, I kind of know what to do, but in a race scenario, like not really.
Yeah.
Because like, my tires are tubeless. So it's like, I'm kind of like stuck in a pickle. So like little things like that. But in terms of like actually completing the event, not really. Yeah, I don't really get nervous. I know that I'm going to complete it, whether that's going to take me 10 hours or 14 hours, regardless, like I'm there to do that goal and I'll achieve it. Hopefully stars align and I'm doing it all correctly.
And with the training, do you ever get burnt out? Because I mean, especially if it sounds like you're just going like back to back to back to back things. Like, do you ever get?
Sometimes I think the biggest thing would be like time management. Yeah. Like I work 8 hours, 5 times a week, and then I'm putting in at least 2.5 hours of workouts every day, pretty much. So sometimes, I mean, Jordan's a big, strong believer in working through like fatigue, because that's kind of what you're going to be doing during the Ironman. So I don't really get days off, which I don't mind, but then at the same time, I'm like, okay, like once in a while, it'd be nice not to go on a 4-hour bike ride and just enjoy my day off, or like I also kind of feel bad for my partner, and I'm just like, this is a very selfish sport in a way. Like he did his first half, which was really nice, and I got to experience that with him. But like a lot of the time, I'm gone, right? Like, or like, yeah, if I'm so like I feel like it's selfish in that way, and like I wish I could give a little bit more time, but I don't have that time to give. So it's either like work, training. Like right now, I barely have time to go to the gym. I haven't been to the gym in like I don't know, 3 months, and that's kind of like my getaway. But like obviously I'm swimming, biking, running.
Did your boyfriend do the half? Because he's like, I might as well just start doing this.
He was coming to enough of them, and he's like, I'm done doing this Sherpa. Like he's like, and he's like, I want to be able to say that I've done one or half of one type of thing. So.
And did you do it together, or did you go off?
No, yeah, I mean we started together, but it was actually really funny because I don't know if I would recommend doing it again, because like with him, I was worried about him the whole entire time. Like the swim, for anyone, I've done few of them and it was chaotic for me. I can't imagine anyone for the first time doing it. And just, I was like, and a few years ago, I think someone died during the swim. So obviously I still have that in my head. I'm like, oh my God, will someone come tell me that he's okay or something like that? And then I didn't see him on the bike. I'm like, oh my God, is he? So a lot of the race, I mean, it's not like I wasn't focused. I was, but I had a big portion of it being like, is he okay? Yeah. Like a little, which I mean, he was okay. He was just like, they cut the bike short for like 95% of the athletes. So he finished an hour before me.
Okay.
And he loved it. He did really, really good as well. But yeah, just that like kind of fear of like, oh my God, is he okay?
I did the same thing with my, so the first sprint triathlon I ever did, which as you know is super short, but when you've never done one, you're like, well, I'm going to swim, cycle, run.
Yeah.
So I had moved home and I'd convinced my dad, who at this point would have been like early 60s, like 62, and they're super fit, done tons of marathons, etc. But I'd like convinced him to do it with me because I was so terrified. I was like, you have to do it with me.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I was obviously really fit. I was like early 20s. So I did it and finished like well before him, but I finished and then like I was at because my mum was there. I was like, where's Dad? And she was like, I got no idea. She was like, he came out of the water and she knew he'd started the run, but he was like, it was only like a 5K maybe, is it 5K?
Yeah, I think
so. Like, you know, like, and he's a really good runner, and you know, and I remember like we were like, fucking hell, like you should definitely be back by now. And there was a good, no joke, about 5 minutes where I was like, if I just fucking killed my dad, like, because I was like, fucking hell, he's like, I was like, he is actually like, he is early 60s, and I've
I mean, it's three sports for
and he was totally fine, but I get your whole like stressing, because I honestly for a couple of minutes I was, you know, when you just get that like, he should be back by now. Like, where is he?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I kind of was terrified. I was like, I think I may have killed him, but yeah. So your boyfriend was just like, I've done enough of these. I'm just going to tag along.
Yeah. I asked him again. I was like, so you want to do a full? And he's like, hell no.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, he might, since he didn't do like the bike got cut short and he only did like 50K. He maybe down the line would like to do another half. But like, he's into climbing. He wants to get into like actually doing more climbs, because obviously he was actually training for this and like just swimming, biking, and running, which was really nice to spend like the last 6 months doing that with him. But then again, it's not like quality time, you know, like, I mean, it's quality time in a certain way, but
you're physically together, but you're not like chat.
You're not going on like a nice date somewhere or something like that. So I wish there was more time for that. And like we do make it time and like try and make time, but that's something that I wish, I don't know, that the sport kind of, it's a very selfish sport. It like takes away from a lot of things. Yeah,
I think I would agree with you. Like when I did I did an Ironman, they did 100 miles, and both of them I was single. So I kind of was like, well, I'm a single guy anyway. Like all my time is my own. And then with this, my girlfriend went back to university for the year. So she's finished that now. But yeah, we spent like a year doing long distance. So even though I was in a relationship, it was kind of like a single man's life I with my time. Because like with having a partner, like I totally appreciate the fact that you don't really have a lot of time, especially with Ironman training. Like you finish work and then you're immediately onto the thing. I think that's something that ever since I did the Ironman, it's something that stuck with me, was how much more efficient I could be with my time.
That's it. I mean, it is like a blessing in disguise. It's like you have to be well in time management, right? Like it's like, then like, I mean, at work, I give them 8 hours, and if need be, I mean, I will stay later because I'm one of the managers. But I like my managers also know, they're like, I mean, I'll stay later, but I need to know what kind of time to like, because I like my training comes first. They know that, you know, like that's then comes work, then comes whatever else, you know. So like, yeah, you have to definitely be very well with your time management.
Yeah. I think now that I'm kind of back into like a big training schedule again, but in moments over the years when I've not had when I've kind of had time to just fuck around, really, like I've not had a race coming up and I'm sitting around and I'm like, fucking, I could be like doing anything right now, and I'm just sitting. I think it's made me realize how lazy sometimes I can be, where you're just like, I've just spent an hour like doom scrolling or whatever the thing may be. Yeah. Whereas when you're doing what you're doing, you're so like, you finish work, you're home, you change, you eat, then you're out. So now when I come out of those, it definitely changed my perspective on time and like how much of time I can waste, unfortunately, just like not doing it. But it's funny you were saying about my training schedule, weirdly, is kind of the opposite. So I've got a month left of mine, also with Jordan. And I get 3 days off a week.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, no, I know. I know. So, because I was the same as you, where it's always been like 5 or 6 days. Yeah. And yeah, like I just got this last month, and Jordan's like, yeah, you've got 3 days off a week. And I was like,
nice. Are your sessions longer?
Yeah, so they are getting longer. They are getting longer. I can only really remember the next 2 Saturdays. So this Saturday's a 4-hour swim, and then the next Saturday's like a
4 hour.
Yeah, the next one's a 6-hour swim.
Oh my god!
I know. So
in the pool.
No, open water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then obviously pool swims in amongst that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a weird one as well. So like obviously usually when you're doing like anything like what you're doing, I think you aesthetically look fitter, even though you might feel sore and bumped and bruised. Like you're like pretty like ripped.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm the total opposite right now. So because it's open water, you actively want to put weight on.
Yeah.
So Jordan said to me, he's like, you need to be eating 1,000 calories surplus.
Yeah.
And like, I did a swim at the weekend, I burned 1,700 calories.
Damn.
So I need to eat that and then eat another.
Yeah. 1,000 plus.
Yeah, but sorry, the whole point is you want to put on weight so that when you're in the open water, like the fat insulates you and you get less cold, less quick.
Yeah.
So like, it's weird how like in the last week of my training, last month of my training, I'm actually getting like kind of fat.
Yeah.
Kind of fat and kind of lazy because I'm going from like, you know, like 6 days of training
to 3 days off.
Yeah, to 3 days off to like eating like it's kind of been especially like I'm a very insecure person, so I'm very much like unfortunately like I like looking good but only because I'm so insecure about it.
Yeah.
So like actively going into, and not that I'm super jacked all the time, but like, you know, going from like kind of that mentality to be like, right, I actively want to put weight on. It's kind of like weird.
Yeah. I remember Jordan was like, yeah, I saw you, and he was like, oh my God, he needs to put on weight. He's going to be really
and I'm trying, the weird as you know, though, like I'm trying to do it, but like I'm trying to put weight on while also doing like really
it's hard,
big like cardio sessions. So this is like, and I've never had an issue with putting weight on.
Yeah.
Until I've actively tried to do it. But then, yeah, I guess it makes sense. But the one thing, like, with you with the Ironman, is your like diet on it, or, like on point, or are you just like fucking eating it?
I like pretty much but then it's also like I'm pretty healthy with what I eat. Like I'll have a good breakfast and like I'll make sure that I'm feeling right during like my long sessions, like today or for example. But I'm also like, I'm burning this much calorie. If I want to have pizza 2 times at work in a row, I will have pizza 2 times in a row. Like, so I'm not guilty in that sense. When I'm like strictly just going like off season, going to the gym, I follow more of a meal plan, if that makes sense, which is kind of weird. But yes, if I'm like kind of just wanting to like lean or put on muscle, I'll follow more of a meal plan. Where when I'm training for triathlon, I'm like, I still try and follow it, but I'm not as strict. And I'm like, okay, I can have pizza 3 times a week type of thing. Cause like, I'm just going to burn it off.
Yeah. Well, I'm the same. I usually like meal prep and eat pretty healthy. I used to eat a lot of sweets and now I don't. I think my appetite just changed.
Yeah.
But now I'm literally forcing myself to like have ice cream and eat chocolate. And last night I went to IJ to buy dinner, and normally I'm like making like healthy stuff. So right, well, I guess I bought like 2 pizzas.
Yeah.
Like hash. I was like buying shit that I'm just like, it's weird how I would normally have them as like an enjoyable meal.
Yeah. Now
and then I was like, right, fucking pizza tonight. Then I might try something, but yeah, it's a weird one to. It's just a weird thing to go from like thinking that you're super fit, and also me being insecure. I was down like, so I've been doing a cold plunge like in the river just to try and like get used to the cold, and there was like a group of these people sitting next to me, like just like chilling, and I went to go in the water, and me with my little like pot belly now, I kind of like, and the insecure me was like kind of what to say to these random people I know who they are. I was like, I'm not usually this like round.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of weird just. But yeah, I think when I did the Ironman and stuff like that, I did appreciate the fact that you could kind of eat what you wanted. Like obviously you want to have like healthy, and that's what I've been trying to do now is have like healthy foods. But then I think it does get to the point where you're just like, right, I guess I need to fucking eat whatever.
I'm like a very much sweet tooth. Like I love my sweets. So I'm like, oh my God, I get to eat a nerd rope or a Mars bar on my ride, as like an extra treat. Like hell yeah, type of thing. So.
And has your boyfriend ever got you to like rock climb, or you just like don't?
A bit, yeah. No, I mean I know how to rock climb a little bit, but it's so hard with triathlon training. Like it's so hard to do anything. I barely go to the gym. I want to do trail running more, but it's just more prone for injury, stuff like that. Loved it. Like I do soccer in the summer, but also
that's like super prone. I think now.
Yeah. So like Jordan's always like, please be careful if you're gonna do this type of thing, and like, but no, I definitely want to hopefully maybe get into more. Maybe next year. I think next year I want to do more of a chill year. Like this year was very, very intense. So I want to take it back a notch and also like be okay with myself in taking it down a notch, you know? Like it's because I've had this in the past where like I had such a high year when I did the Penticton and then I went to Japan and it was like I went back a notch and like didn't go into depression, but I was definitely not feeling myself and I hated it. And I was just like, and then I got back here and I started going into training. So I kind of want to see if I can like change that a little bit like next year and be like, okay, like pick 3 main events. These are the only main events that I'm doing. And that's it, you know, enjoy everything else. Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely get it because the last couple of things they've all coincidentally been around about September or October that I've done them, and yeah, it does kind of to a degree. I guess it's like a give and take, like because it can takes over your summer, which is kind of nice because then you've got something to do the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
You're constantly out, whether you like it or not. You have to be running, cycling, whatever. But then there are times when like obviously it does take over everything. So the weekend where you're like. Friends are like going somewhere or doing something, you're like, well, I can't really go because like I'm supposed to cycle on Saturday, and then you know, I mean, I could swap a day off, and I think in the past I used to be really strict with that. Like I missed like quite a few things. Like I had friends here who they were going a couple of years ago. They were going to do like a hut trip, and they were like, "You should come," and I was like, "Nah." And they were like, "You should really come," and I was like, "Nah, like I need to do a run." And then it turns out they were getting engaged. Not that I was the only person going, but there was a group and they'd asked me to go, and I was, and when they came back, they were like, "Oh, we got engaged." And I was like, "Fucking hell, I could have moved the run."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was just so like, I have to. I think I'm a little bit better now. I've been slightly more flexible and just like moving stuff around.
Yeah.
But when I was getting into it, I was like, because I didn't know what you were. I was like, if I missed this specific thing,
it's gonna affect it
totally
all.
fuck it. Whereas now I'm a little bit like, I guess I could like.
I've been kind of the same over the years, and like Jordan's really helped me with that. Where it's like, if you miss a session, it's okay. Like you're not, and he showed me that when I was in Japan. He's like, your fitness doesn't go away. Like, you know, like you built 8-9 months before that, you went to Japan. Obviously you didn't run or swim, but like it doesn't go away. Like you will get that back. And same with like, I don't know if you're feeling sick or something like that. In the past, like 3-4 years ago, I would miss something and I'd be like, okay, I have to make it up the next day type of thing. I have to go even harder the next day, where it's like, you have to really listen to your body and be like, it's okay. Like move past that and move forward and be like, hey, what's next type of thing. And that's, I think, helps a lot with recovery as well. Of like, I don't know, I'm a big recovery freak where I think like, I mean, I try and roll as much as you can. Like our house is like, we have like Normatex and all the fancy gear to try and get you recovered as fast as possible. But it's also like, if I need a day off, I will take it. Type of thing.
Have you, so you were saying you've kind of got a sore ankle just now, but have you been able to like avoid major injuries?
Pretty much. Yeah, I've never really had, knock on wood, any bad injuries. Like, yeah, either like muscles are sore, or the sprain of my ankle in November was kind of my biggest one recently. Which isn't that big, so
I had I had a bit of a chronic back injury, which is why I got kind of like stepped aside to do swimming, because I was like, well, swimming's like the best thing you can kind of do for your back. But yeah, it's sort of like I realized like, and that was like a true injury, and it was the first one I'd ever really had that wasn't like a sprained ankle or whatever. And I was like, as someone who's super active, which you obviously certainly are as well, I was a bit like, fucking hell, if I can't like exercise, like I literally, it sounds sad maybe, but I was like, I don't actually know what I'd do. Yeah,
you kind of like lose a part of yourself.
Yeah,
just like,
I know people are like, you can, I mean, I probably would try and, if I was literally, if they were like, you need to stop doing it, and then I probably would pivot to something. But yeah, I think like just being such an active person, like I don't actually know, sadly. I guess that's when people learn piano or Spanish or whatever it is. But yeah I think, Yeah, it's kind of like hard to, I can't imagine. I don't know how I do it.
That's kind of how I felt like when I was in Japan. Like, obviously, I was there to experience a new culture and like snowboard and do all that. But also, I did kind of like, I went from having a big summer to snowboarding, and all I had was running. Like, the gyms were just like expensive and they weren't really good, and pools and bikes, I didn't have any of that. So it's just, I kind of like was like sad, and like I was like, what do I do with myself? Like, Brandon would go snowboarding and like I'd go, but I'm like, I'd rather go out for a run, you know? Like, I'd rather go for a run, and then maybe if I'm bored, I'll go snowboarding type of thing. Like, I like snowboarding, but I don't love it.
See, I'm the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like obviously we live in Banff, which is like a super snowboard or skiing heavy place. And yeah, like I have friends who are like diehard snowboarders. They'll go. I used to, not now, but when I first came here, I was a snowboard instructor.
Oh.
And on our day, on my day off, I was like, do I want to go snowboarding? But they would be like, can't wait for the day off to go snowboarding. And granted, we were teaching like little kids, so it wasn't like I was, out doing crazy shit every day. But whereas I'm like you, where I was like, I'd rather, like, if I had the time, I was like, I want to go to the gym, like I want to run. So, and I think the first like little while I lived here, I almost felt guilty because I was like, I guess I should be snowboarding all the time, like, because that's just what everyone does.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, I'd rather
do something else. That's how I felt in Japan. I was like, I'm here and I'm like experience snow, like the Japao. It was amazing, but I was like, okay, like I'd rather go running.
How was Japan in general?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, like the people there and the culture was like next level. Like everything's so advanced there. The food is so yummy and good. But it was also like we were for most of the time in a Niseko, so we were in like a town very similar to Banff.
Okay.
And everyone was a lot younger than us, so we kind of felt a little bit out of place. Like
you're not that old though. Can I ask how old you are?
31.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
but everyone was like between like, I don't know, 18 to like 22 type of thing. So like all they're wanting to do is go out every single night, and you're just like, like I'm like not really into that anymore, you know? I'm rather like have some drinks at home or like go to a bar, and like that's pretty much it, you know? Like not all the time. Where like I remember we went to this bingo and like people were just like drinking, like, and it was all Aussies. Like it was just the whole bar was Aussies drinking. They're just doing a shoey out of it, like, and just I was just like, oh my god, I'm just like, I'm over this, you know? Like I did my time when I was 20s and stuff like that. I was just like, and like we got really lucky because we were together, like so we actually had our own private 2 bedrooms like apartment upstairs.
Okay, nice. Where
everyone else was downstairs. It was 4 people per room, bunk beds, and they were sharing one bathroom. I was like, if we weren't together and I had to, I probably would have left. I was like, I'm 31. I'm not doing this anymore. You know, So, yeah. Overall, love Japan. Don't think I'd ever go back to like live, but I definitely go back for like a week or 2 weeks and do like a snowboard trip.
I mean, 8 months is a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially somewhere like Japan, where I only went there on holiday, but it's not like, this is a really obvious thing to say. Do you speak Japanese? But I mean that in the sense of like everything. It wasn't like, go some places in Europe and like English is really easy to get by with. Like, whereas in Japan it's fucking Japanese.
Yeah. Google Translate was.
Yeah. Can you speak Japanese? Like,
no, not, I mean, no.
Like when you were there, did you have like hi and bye?
Yeah. Like arigato and but very basic. It was like, that was about it. It was like Google Translate for the rest of it.
Yeah, that's cool though. Like, so you lived in Japan. Have you ever lived anywhere else abroad?
I did. I lived in South Africa.
Okay, right.
Well, Colombia for 5 years, and then Southeast or Australia for 2 years on and off, and then South Africa was like my first trip overseas. I did like a internship for work, and it was like 4 months.
Wow, how was that?
Yeah, it was amazing. I've gone to Africa twice, and every time it's like touched my heart in like a different way. First time was when I just finished graduating college, and then they had this program, so it was like first trip overseas, and we worked like different parts of hotels in like 2 different locations, and one was like in the bush where like, oh, it was amazing. Like I'd go for runs and like clap to get the zebras out of the way. Like it was unreal. Like it was amazing. But it also like taught me like I had to like buy water. Like, you know, I didn't have that like privilege of drinking tap water. I had to buy water for like 4.5 months throughout the whole time. And then just like seeing everyone that has like so little and like still being so happy is like just, yeah, if you ever get a chance anywhere in Africa, I would.
It's like refreshing. I haven't been to Africa. I'd love to go, but yeah, I think the older I get now, the more you just like, I guess, educate yourself. And you're like, do I really need all this? Like,
yeah,
I've got like a couple of snowboards. I'm like, could have one. I mean, one is a backcountry and one is a normal one, but yeah, there's sometimes, yeah, you go somewhere like that and you're just like, these people are so happy. And I've got,
yeah.
I'm not actually miserable, but you're like, you know, in the first world, is that right? First world, you have like all your stuff, and you're like, oh, if only I had the fucking new iPhone, I'd feel better. But yeah, I'd love to go. Did you feel safe when you were in South Africa? Yeah,
yeah, a little, yeah, pretty much. Like when we were in the bush, there was like we were in the bush, kind of like in the middle of
even with like animals and stuff. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, honestly, it was pretty scary because like, so our teacher dropped us off for the first week and then she left, and she was like, so just I have to warn you guys, like there are very venomous snakes and like like, you know, just be careful. But like I've been doing this for like 5 years and I've never seen one. And she leaves, and I shit you not, I think like we saw 10 snakes that day, like rattlesnakes and all that. So that was pretty scary. But like never where I was like, oh, like, yeah, put in danger, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like you're kind of tough though, like with the whole like doing hockey and stuff like that. Like, it doesn't seem like you'd be that easily.
Yeah. No.
Frightened.
No, I mean, yeah.
No, you got to fight people, but I mean, like, you just don't seem someone who's like afraid of like fear.
No, I mean, snakes are kind of creepy.
Yeah,
like,
no,
one falls in front of you, yeah. But no, I think I'm pretty strong in that sense as well.
And is that like something like, is your family like that, or is like that something you think you got from hockey? And just...
I think probably got from like playing competitive sports like throughout my whole life. Yeah, like I had a pretty strict coach growing up in hockey, and he was very like hard on us. So I think that kind of helped me.
Mm-hmm. And do you like read any books or stuff like that for your training, like mindset and all that kind of jazz?
I did a lot when I was first moving back here. So when I was during COVID, I got into like, that's what got me into like David Goggins. Like I read 2 of his books and stuff like that. I haven't read anything in the last few years, which I need to, because I feel like that's also like a time where I can like just slow down and like just chill, but it's just hard to find time.
No, I know. I definitely like, I think it was same as you. I kind of went a little bit harder into the book side of things as well that time. I was like reading anything and everything that I was like psychology. I was like, understand your mind and like you'll run faster and stuff. But yeah, I think, what do you think of, and I'm curious because I obviously did the same thing, like what do you think with the David Goggins approach appealed to you? Like why do you think that that message of like that he was giving it resonated? Because it resonated with me. Yeah,
I think also the 40%, like only reaching 40% of your actual potential, and then just like all the bad shit that he did. Like he ran ultras with fucking like broken ankles, lost so much weight, like so many pull-ups, you know, like just, I think the thrive, like his thing is push beyond your limits. I actually have that tattooed because of like, I just feel like you can like just push beyond your limits so much, right? Like you don't really know what you're actually capable of until you reach that limit.
Yeah. Kind of like these. So I'm not like a little bit more context. I'm not like religious or anything. So I kind of like live in the whole like you've got one life, live it mentality. And I think his whole thing of like, and ironic what I'm about to say is his whole thing of getting to the pearly gates, but you have like a clipboard and it's got 2 like sheets of paper. One is the one that is your life, but the other one is like the stuff that was like, oh well, you were supposed to do an Ironman, a this or that, or whatever it may be, like you know, all these other things, and it's like you never did any of that because you just lived this life, you know, of like 40%. And that definitely, like, again, as someone who's not like religious and you know, I just think it's like a one short deal, I was like, right, well, cool. I definitely want to at least try it.
Yeah.
And I think coming as well from my background of like someone who didn't think I could ever do it. Remember like watching Ironman videos and I'd be like, that's wild. Like imagine, I can't imagine being able to do that. I remember the first time I did a half marathon, I was like, people run double this.
Yeah.
It blew my mind.
Yeah.
And then I did and then I just, somehow just like trickled down and then you look back and you're just like,
oh my God. 4 years ago, your life was completely different.
I know. But yeah, but you haven't really, like with regards to triathlons and Ironmans and all that stuff, it's not like it's been like a lifelong thing.
No,
but sport has though.
Sport has, yeah. I've always been very sporty and like athletic, I think. And I think after kind of hockey and soccer ended, I needed something else to keep me going. And then I found running I've always liked, and then running led into triathlon. But I think that's like kind of like my go-to to see like, okay, like how far can I get this sport, you know? I'm going to see what I can do. I mean, when I get tired of it, I'll get tired of it, but
doesn't sound like you're going to get tired of it though.
No, not for I know for the next, like, I'd say like 5 years, I'd probably still be doing it.
So you're talking about obviously like you want to, and I don't think it is delusional, but like getting to like Olympics and stuff like that. Like I don't know if I'll ever get there. Talent wise, you know, like there's people that like Paula Finley, for example. I don't know if you know who that is, but just an example of like people that grew up with the sport that have like, and just have natural talent in that sense, where like I would say I'm a natural talent hockey player. I mean, maybe I played 25 years of it, so I know what I'm doing, where triathlon, it's like I've had to put in the work and it's been good so far, but it's like, okay, like, yes, I want to see how far I can take it, whether that's maybe just winning one Ironman my whole life, or whether... I mean, you see, just though, like winning one would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that I would be definitely happy with that. But also it's like, okay, can I take it to that professional level, you know? Can I take it to being a professional athlete and getting, I mean, it's not really about the money. I don't really care about the money, but it's more of like, okay, like I can just do the sport, not do anything else. I mean, not work in any other fields and just do the sport and see what can become of that.
Would you think about just getting into like working in the sport and like not necessarily being a pro athlete, but just like somehow transitioning into that industry, like working with an Ironman, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or you're like, if I'm not an athlete, I'm nothing.
No, I would definitely love to help people and stuff. Cause like, I mean, you're on this journey yourself to be whatever you can be, but you're also helping people along the way. And I think over the last few years, I've gotten feedback from so many people being like, oh my God, like you've inspired me to do this, or like your hard work is just so amazing. And like, that's something I love about the sport as well. Like people come up to me and they're like, oh my God, like you've inspired me to run half, or you inspired me to start getting into this and that. And like, that touches my heart. I'm like, oh my God, I'm actually like, you know, like I'm on my path, but I'm helping someone else's path along the way. So whether that be helping in an organization or like planning something for someone. I mean, I've helped friends, like my best friend ran her first marathon like 2 years ago. So I kind of helped her do that, which was really nice. But yeah, down the line, I wouldn't be opposed to coaching. I think it'd be kind of cool.
And is that something that you're actually thinking about though? Or are you just like at this point?
I think not at the moment. I think I'm too like into
journey yourself. Yeah.
If that sounds selfish.
No,
but,
I don't think it does.
I think once I get tired of the sport, then I'd be like, okay, like how can I actually focus on just helping people? I've done me kind of thing. Now let's try and help people.
Yeah, I think that this is it's such a funny place as well that we live, because it is uber fit and healthy. Like, you know, if you say to someone, like you and I talking about, I'm swimming the channel, you're running like Ironman number whatever of how many you've already done. You know, like Sarah's doing like a 10K swim, like other people you and I probably know about in town, like if they say, I get what I'm getting at is if people say I'm doing an Ironman, I'm like, oh sweet, cool. Whereas like back home, you say that to anyone, they're like, fucking like an Ironman, like you're like the one person that they've met that's probably done it.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of cool living here because, like when it's normalized to a degree.
Yeah.
Like like people aren't understanding that like, oh yeah, you're training like 2.5 hours a day. It's like, yeah, sweet. Obviously that makes sense. Whereas I feel like if you lived somewhere else, like back home, when I was doing my Ironman, I did it back home. And
which one did you do that?
Oh, so mine was kind of wild. So I was originally, so I'm from Scotland originally. And I was in Scotland at the time. So I booked the one for Dublin. Cork, sorry, it was in Cork, so in Ireland. So I was like, sweet, I'll just drive there. Like, there's a ferry, 45-minute ferry or whatever it was, I'll just drive there. COVID happens. So then they send an email, like this is a super long story short, but they send an email, it's eventually being like, that's obviously cancelled, but you got 2 options. You've got South Africa or Estonia.
Oh.
Yeah, this is during COVID as well, and like you can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was like Estonia's like easier to get to, so that's what the one I did.
Cool.
Yeah, no, so it was kind of wild. But yeah, when I was training for it, I was at home, and I was like, on a Friday night, I was still hanging out with my mates. So I would get to like 10, I'd be like, sweet, I should probably go, man. Like, they're like, what? Like, no, I'm just having a few beers. Like, go home at midnight. I'm like, yeah, but I'm fucking, maybe
in the morning.
Yeah, I was like, well, I need to do it was getting to the tail end of it. I was like, well, I've got like a 6-hour cycle tomorrow. Like, if I, you know what I mean? And they just, rightly or wrongly, just couldn't grasp it. Whereas, like here, you say that to anyone, and it's almost like, I feel like here's the opposite. If you're like, I'm doing fuck all tomorrow, they're like,
yeah. It's so funny. Yeah, you're so right. And I think that's what I love about living here. Like, for example, like the bar is just getting higher and higher with the amazing athletes that are just around town. Like, it's just as an example of like the FKT for the four mountains around here. Like, it's just getting like, I don't know what it is at right now.
But what's FKT?
Fastest known time.
Oh, okay, sorry, right.
Yeah. So that's just one of the examples of like, okay, like how fast can you run in 4 mountains and see like, see how fast you can do it. And like, I know a buddy that's just like smashed that record, and now like someone else is taking it, and now it's like he wants it back, and like he like loves that thrive, and it's like, yeah, like he's like, I want to see if I can get the FKT in this and this and this and mountain. And I'm just like, this is awesome. Like, like it's just like, yeah, like just living here in Canmore, just the athletes around here are just like so inspiring. It's so nice.
Did you ever know a guy, this would have been maybe like 4 years ago, called Xavi? He was Spanish. Incredibly Spanish guy now.
Yeah, no.
But he was like super Spanish guy. I mean that in the sense of like he spoke English like he spoke Spanish, like super fast.
Yeah.
But him and I worked together, and he would run up. We worked in Norquay when I was a snowboard instructor, and he would run up in the summer. He ran up Cascade. I was like, at this point in time, I'd done an Ironman.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm running up Cascade, and I was like, what? Because I'd hiked it.
Yeah.
Like, it took me like 10 hours, and I was like, you're gonna run up it. Like the end of work, you would like run up it, come down, and I'm like,
crazy.
Yeah. And then obviously, you live here 5 years later, and I'm like, yeah, obviously you're gonna, like, who doesn't run and cut?
Yeah. My roommate all the time is like, yeah, I'm gonna like run up and like up it at least once a week. Like the other day he was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna try and do it like twice. And I'm like, oh my God. He's training for like a race in the Alps in Switzerland, like at the end of the month, and it's just like, oh my God. Like, it's just, yeah, people are crazy here, but like I love it.
Yeah. So is your boyfriend going to go with you to Kona and Marbella?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's cool.
It's actually we have a wedding in Hawaii like 3 weeks before. We actually go to Hawaii too.
So you're going to go for like that, like a month?
No, I wish I could.
Oh, you're going to fly, come back, and then go back?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So
that'd be sweet though, going to so you're going to Hawaii anyway for a wedding?
Yeah.
Right. It's not Kona, is it?
No, it's Maui.
Right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right, sweet.
So I think, I don't know if Jordan's probably going to make me do some sort of training while I'm
I
there.
assume so, yeah. And do you, and is that the first time you've been at Hawaii?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, so I'm excited, but I'm also like, am I going to be able to hike and see all these cool volcanoes and scuba dive and stuff like that? But we'll see.
Yeah, because it's like the closer you get to the race, you're like, you get more like paranoid, I guess, a little bit. I remember like, when mine was in COVID, I didn't give a fuck about COVID, to be honest. Like, I was one of these people where it's like, I'm fit, I'm healthy, whatever. But the closer I got, so what happened was, so I trained, like, again, really long story short, but I trained like a year and then it got cut off. So then it just got postponed like another 3 months ish. So I was like just in limbo for like those 3 months. I was like, will it happen? Won't it happen? Obviously my training just was totally like plateaued because I couldn't like.
You didn't know what was happening. Yeah.
So we got it was an email a week before that the Estonian government were actually going to let us travel to go to Estonia.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, sorry to just add to it. So then I had to do that. So COVID. So I had to get a COVID vaccination before I flew. So again, I was like, right, well, I guess I don't know unless I pass this. So passed that one. Had another COVID thing when I landed, which was the 2 days before the race. So like I landed at night, had a date, and then it was the race. So it was
oh my God.
So the next morning. So I've spent a year and 3 months training, and it was like just more than 24 hours where I was like, I'm 100% actually doing this thing. And the reason I was bringing that up was because COVID, just I think with, what were you saying just before that? Sorry.
I lost my train of thought too.
I was trying to think, with paranoia.
Oh yeah.
Paranoia was to do with like, I didn't give a fuck about COVID, but like the closer that date got, I just was getting more, I was running with people, hanging out with people, didn't care. And then the closer that date got, I was like, didn't see no one. Like I was like total like shut down. Cause I was like, I've spent all this time training. And then, like I was just, if I was to get COVID, obviously at that time everyone's hypersensitive, but like, if you get anything really, like I got an eye infection like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, just random. Yeah. And I was like, oh fuck, I didn't even think that was like a thing. Obviously it is because you're swimming in the open water, but you spend all that time training and then, like for you, like with the cycle, you know?
Yeah.
Like you spend all the time training and then you're like, right, cool, well I guess the cycle's just not, you know?
Crazy.
Do you know a guy, Josh Crabtree in town?
Yeah.
So he had a kind of similar thing because he also did his like randomly. You didn't do it together, nah?
No. I know him. We're like, we're good friends. Yeah, he's pretty much kind of the same thing. And then he went to Nice the year after and qualified and then went to the World Championships when it was in Nice. But he's at the moment, he's done a little bit of training, but I think he's just busy with his
Barbarito. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, I work here and he works over there, so I catch him sometimes. But yeah, I think it's like, I guess that's where like if you were to stop training, like throw yourself into, because you obviously are someone who can dedicate yourself and like put hours and time in. So like you can 100% like throw yourself into something else if that's what you were thinking. But is there anything else that you're like kind of dabbling with, or are you just like, I'm fully in this for the time being?
Pretty much fully in this. I mean, down the line it'd be really cool to maybe have like a smoothie shop in town or like a protein, like somewhere to go get like smoothies. Like I've thought of that, but
yeah, there isn't really anywhere in town.
Yeah, right? So I think that would be really cool. But no, I'm just like pretty much fully invested in this.
It's funny you say that. I remember chatting to Jordan about the Barbuto thing. And this isn't, and it's easy to say in hindsight, so I'm not in any way saying that I could do what he has done. And I've chatted to him about this. But like, I remember when I first moved here, like I love burritos randomly. I just love them, right? I remember when I first came to Banff, I was like, it's fucking kind of wild that like such a tourist town doesn't have one bar burrito place. Not bar burrito specifically, but doesn't have Mexican food that's not añejos or whatever. And Jordan, we were chatting about it, he said, I had the same idea, but then he obviously put the wheels in motion and had the like thing to do it. And I said to him, I was like, it was kind of an eye-opener to me to be like, he was someone who had a similar idea, but he just took the idea and ran
just did it,
It's kind of same with your smoothie thing. You know, like, it's obviously easier said than done, because there's like a lot of money involved getting like up and running, but yeah, that would be really cool. But I think, do you think, I mean, like, it doesn't seem like you'd be the kind of person who could slow down that much.
No, I mean, I think so. I think maybe that's something that like maybe next year I can dabble more into. Like I love yoga and like maybe get into that like meditation side of me, because like I was doing a lot, like I did the Wim Hof and the cold exposure during COVID, and like I had more time, I was reading more, so maybe next year I'll try and do that a little bit more of like slowing down, and you know, like it's okay to not have a busy schedule. But
do you meditate now?
no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Was this but something you did do?
Yeah.
And why did you do it? You just came across
I think
it?
because I was go.
Okay,
I was like,
right.
okay, I need something to slow
chill
down.
out.
Yeah, exactly. So like, just sit down and be okay with.
Do you feel like
down.
your brain's like 100 miles an hour?
Yeah. A lot of the time.
Yeah, because I feel the same, but I do meditate, and I noticed that when I stop doing it, my brain just goes like faster and faster and faster and faster, and I'm just like, right, I need to start doing this again, because I just kind of lose.
Same with yoga. It's like I found that like yoga a few years ago, I was going to a flow state and I loved it. I was like, oh my God, it's so good for my body. But now I just like, I don't have time. Like I don't have enough time. I wish I had time to be like, go, at least this is like active, like recovery meditation kind of. But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why when you hear about like people who are like like professional athletes, you're like, and they spend X amount, like it's always a crazy amount of money. Like LeBron James spent like $1 million or something on his health, and I was like, that kind of makes sense. Like if you're like uber at the top, like if I was like a pro athlete and I was getting like massages all the time, personal chef, like all the gear that you want, I was like, probably easily could like do that, like get a sauna, get a cold plunge, you know, all this stuff involved. I thought that's like, if that would be, and not that you're asking this question, but that's my dream. Would be like, live your life like you're like an athlete. Definitely. Just like train all the time.
Yeah. Personal massager would be nice.
God,
oh my God, every day.
I know.
Yeah.
I would definitely, I would 100% get a massage all the time. Like the closer, whenever I've got a race on, I'll start getting them more just to really try and loosen up. But I would definitely like that. Like I would love to live that life. Like, but so the goal of like kind of achieving that is something that you would really love to do.
Definitely. And
have you had any feedback from Jordan about like, he said, yeah, I could, you know, as someone who has done it, has he been like, I think you could...
I haven't really, I mean, I've said I want to go as far as I can with this. I haven't really like sat him down and been like, okay, do you think it's actually possible? So maybe that's a next year conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously been with him for quite a while then. So you have like I assume you have got more than like him and I've only been with Jordan for a while, and where we obviously get on, like it's still very much like a kind of coach to athlete, I guess, relationship. Whereas I assume you probably have developed a bit more.
A little bit, I think, over the year. I mean, I think he is a very private guy a little bit. But like now I go biking with his wife, Deb, and like I've kind of talked
You're just
to her
infiltrating the family.
A little bit, like, you know, like I'm starting to like give back to the community in a sense of like he's doing all these races. So I'm like, okay, I'll help go volunteer at these races if I'm not going to race in them. And like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've the volunteers that I've had in the last couple of races, like I just did that 7K swim at the weekend, and I had like a random guy, literally a random person, didn't meet him until the morning of the thing. So because it was a 7K, you have to have a paddler. It's like not legal, but it's race policy because it's so far. So this random guy and you can't do it without one. Like you're not allowed to do it. So yeah, again, this guy was like, I'll help you.
Oh,
that's right, cool. So I just met this guy in the morning, super cool guy, Gord. And what I'm getting at is, and I did the 100 miles, and it was the same thing. Randomly, the guy happened to be Scottish, but like he was my guy when I came into the aid stations. I would literally be like, I wouldn't say this, but I could have been like, take my shoes and socks off and massage my feet.
Yeah, and he'd do it.
Yeah, and it did kind of make me think like, wow, like, and I haven't yet done it, so I feel bad saying it, but like getting into like volunteering for these things, but then it kind of comes back to around to like, you don't have the time.
Yeah, which is hard.
Yeah, like if you're in like your kind of boyfriend's position where you're supporting someone, like you could definitely do it. But when you're the person that is doing the thing, it's kind of
hard.
Yeah.
I do have an appointment. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. What time?
7.
Okay, cool. Very sweet. Well, let's just wrap up then.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
Right, no, I appreciate
I apologize.
Yeah, no, don't apologize. I appreciate you giving me any of your time to sit and chat with it. It was really cool.
Yeah, no, and I'd love to talk more about your journey. This is mainly about me, but I would love to do that.
Yeah, no, that's cool.